I've just come off of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, testing the latest Helldivers update, and it's f***ed. Now, you don't often get an intro like this from me, but that's the best description I could actually come up with right now. The game is f***ed. All of that you just heard, throw it out, because today's cyborg-infested machinery of oppression major content update is the complete opposite of all that we saw 5 months ago. If you want to support the channel, you know what to do. If you're on mobile, please swipe right to hype as we suit up and dive on in. Cyberstan launch day started off a bit rocky, as when we first gained access to the planet, we were met with a missionless planet. That's right, you could FTL jump to Cyberstan, but there was no missions yet on the surface, which is a new one we've never seen. Now, Arrowhead seems to have sorted it out very quickly, and we soon had the 2 cities to attack, starting on difficulty 4s up to level 10s. Comboed with the actual launch of the Machinery of Oppression new content update, we also got this epic trailer drop at that very same time. And the moment all the super destroyers warped in was absolute cinema. Arrowhead always does a pretty good job on their trailers, but some of them just hit that extra bit hard. And at least for me, this was one of those that did just that. Seeing all the different armors on the Helldivers definitely brought on Avengers vibes when they fought the Chitauri in New York. And if you haven't seen today's Helldivers trailer, I'll of course drop a link to it down in the video description for you. Now, we also saw a new patch update hit the game in the form of update 6.0.3 this morning, with a few minor tweaks and bug fixes. Again, links to all of this can be found down in the video description and pinned comment, but the first change listed here was to C4, increasing the demo force from 30 up to 40, or at least that's what the patch notes say. However, I remember seeing this change a week ago during some testing, and when you actually check over on the Helldivers Wiki, sure enough, it shows the C4 demo force going up 10 points back on February 3rd. I could be wrong remembering this, but the Wiki shows it as an undocumented change back then, so maybe today's patch notes are just bringing it to the attention of the community? Question mark? In-game, that change to Demo Force 40 means you can, of course, destroy city walls, bot fabricators, bioprocessors, and biotitan holes, as long as you can throw the C4 down into the hole before detonating it. Outside of that, the patch also included 5 various crash fixes and 5 weapon and strat fixes as well. The 2 of these I want to really highlight here are the fixes to number 1, gunship factories, and how now the Hell Bomb will properly destroy them instead of only when you place it on the backside, and number 2, how the Bastion tank was in the past consuming mission critical objectives if you entered the tank as the gunner, converting those objectives into ammo for the main cannon and HMG. However, I do have a question for chat because I didn't get a chance to test it today. My question is, when you enter the gunner seat carrying something else like the 𝗕cie shells or, say, an explosive barrel, are those still functioning as before and rearming the tank? Definitely drop a comment so we can all know what is and not working with the tank. I know that many of you have been asking and waiting on this one, but I wanted to bring your attention to the new Superstore armor and the fact that it has arrived, which is a separate set from the Siege Breakers Warbond, as this new medium armor set features the Siege Ready passive. So now you can pick up the DP8 mountain scaled medium armor in the Superstore, which has strong Far East vibes to it. But the fact that we can now get our hands on a medium set of Siege Ready is a massive W for us divers, as Siege Ready is an S tier talent. Now, I'll get to performance in just a moment because I do have some thoughts and feedback on it, but the first thing me and my squad did this morning is queue up for the new Cyberstan mission type Halt Cyborg Production, which is an epic mission type, by the way, and it threw us into the meat grinder deep inside a cyborg city on level 10 difficulty, and we definitely took our lumps, especially at first. By the way, I'd love to read your horror stories down in the comment section. Should definitely leave a comment down there, but for us, the amount of enemies being flooding us was, at first, pretty overwhelming. You had bot troopers everywhere, rocket and shield devs, hulks by the dozen, and then the cyborgs were sprinkled in there as well. Now, I don't know how you've been faring versus these new enemy types, but for us, the agitators seem to be the least common, and overall, they seem kind of docile. The radicals, especially in packs, could cause you some problems because of just how fast and overly aggressive they are. Those flying knee kicks are something else, and I even saw them curb stomp my diver, especially after I had been ragdolled and was in the process of trying to stand back up. But how about those Vox engines? Every time we saw a flare go up, 3 of those things were immediately flown in. And trying to take them on toe-to-toe usually ended up in someone just getting dismembered, as they have 2 huge cannons and those swivel Gatling sentries as well, along with that crazy rocket barrage that they can use to pepper you behind cover. Now at first, everyone was trying to hit them with anti-tank and the rest of it, and I can tell you that these new Cyborg bosses can take 3 direct impacts from the Bastion tank main cannon before going down. We also messed around with things like the rail cannon strikes, which by the way takes 2, and things like the leveler and ultimatums, but in the end, going full risk is the fastest way to kill one of these. Here, let me show you. If you can run up to the side or back of one of these things, you can use really any ballistic weapon to shoot the 2 vents on its lower backside and then the vent up underneath it. Now once you destroy those 3 vents, a little engine compartment on the back of it will open up, and you can toss a 𝗕ecie in there, which will clip through the box, and it will instantly wipe the entire thing out. But again, it is risky, and it exposes you to incoming fire from not only the Vox, but also the surrounding ground units. Still, if you're looking to go full John Helldiver, this is the way to take them out the fastest. Before we go any further, again, I'd love to hear your feedback on Cyberstan and the new mission types day 1, so definitely drop a comment. Anything, the good, the bad, the ugly, it does not matter. Let's hear those stories of pain and success. Again, for me and the squad, there were moments of sheer terror, joy, anger, and enjoyment, and it kind of ran the gamut in terms of emotions. We were seeing some of those day 1 instability issues for the better part of the morning, like when I was hosting and ended up hard locking, which by the way, the new Arrowhead installed system where it's supposed to record that issue, report it to them, and then drop you from the game did not work, and I ended up having to taskbar kill the game. We've also seen multiple squad members get disconnected today and have to jump through 10 flaming hoops just to get them to rejoin the session. But from the tone of my voice, you probably knew one of these was coming. Let me say that as someone that was there second 1, minute 1, day 1 when Into the Untested dropped, today's launch by comparison of the Oppression of Machinery update was light years better. So huge GGs to Arrowhead for that kind of turnaround. The Cyborgs plus the Automatons and just how hectic and frequent their spawns are really keeps the difficulty ramped up and going from start to finish. And I know I've seen a lot of community members out there want more of this level of action, especially on difficulty 10s. And we've seen it on the rapid acquisition missions and now here on Cyberstan. But yeah, overall, it's a vastly improved launch for a major content update. We've got the new enemies and the new missions, and I think the majority of players out there are kind of liking them too. Which is a fact that seems to be reinforced by the stats, as right now, the Helldivers Companion App is showing over 250,000 divers logged on and hitting Helldivers 2. We had a 24-hour major order to nuke 700 million automatons on Cyberstan, and as at the time of this recording, you spreaders of managed democracy are taking the fight to the Cyborgs' front door, netting over 500 million in the first 12 hours alone. So if we keep up this pace, expect to pocket this major order with room to spare. On Steam, Helldivers 2 is seeing some big gains as well, currently ranked number 3 on the Steam top sellers list, which is based on dollars generated, not copies sold. So with the new Machinery of Oppression update, all the recent changes, the Warbonds, and everything that's been done to the game, plus the 25% off sale on Steam, Helldivers is again charting and beating some very stout AAA franchises. Speaking of charting, even the recent Steam reviews are leaning heavily towards positive. I mean, just look at the February trends here, with far more positive reviews than negative, which is the direct opposite of, say, back when the Sony review bomb was ongoing. Even Johan, Arrowhead's former CEO, now turned CCO, made a rare appearance in the official Helldivers Discord today, saying, "I am so happy that the Cyborgs are finally back. It was a long time in the making. Even long before the game was released, I think now 6 years back, we wanted the Cyborgs to return eventually. Thank you all for supporting us to be able to continue to expand on Helldivers." So yeah, it looks like everything is going in a much better direction for Arrowhead than, say, what we saw 5 months ago when that major bug offensive started on 𝗚𝗀𝗃𝗃 alongside the Into the Untested major content flop. And final bit here, which is sort of breaking news, comes directly to us from the official Helldivers Discord posted by Baskinator late this afternoon. Active Helldiver numbers have surged, a result of record high enlistments and the support of Operation Valid Pretext. As a result, listen to this out there, divers, 70 million reinforcements have been added to the budget. Should the number of active Helldivers rise further as patriotic citizens join the cause to liberate Cyberstan, additional reinforcements will be added commensurately. Now, to be honest, I didn't get a chance to look at what the reinforcement budget was just before this 70 million was added in, but at first glance, it looks like maybe Arrowhead's initial estimates for not only what we would lose on Cyberstan, but also with all of this last week's actions was grossly underestimated. And so, at our present rate of Helldiver consumption, we would have run out of dudes before finishing up Cyberstan. The question is, does Joel have something to do with this? I mean, he is the game master, and so he has all the levers at his disposal, but I know what we were initially seeing on Cyberstan this morning was a diver bloodbath, which I think is what many of you saw as well, and at least from this latest dispatch, either the difficulty and the spawn rates were jacked a little too high, or some sort of other internal metric was badly off, because all of a sudden getting 70 million diver reinforcements, that's significant. But that's just my theory. And here's where you get to sound off as well. Anything Helldivers is on the table. Cyberstan, Vox engines, difficulty, performance, any and all of that is fair game. So I humbly ask you to drop a comment so we can get some feedback going. Remember to hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. If you're on mobile, please take advantage of the swipe right to hype function. I'd also like to throw a hearty thank you out there to all of our current channel members, for without your support, content like this would not be possible. And until the next one, this is 𝗲𝗲𝗶𝘀𝗀𝗃𝗲𝗃 signing off.